Hey everyone! Here's another bunch of Easter eggs and details from the new Silent Hill 2 remake. One small detail that many missed is James's first steps in Silent Hill. As you move through the forest, you can hear something stirring. At certain points, you'll even hear a monster you can't mistake for anything else. Interestingly, if you walk back, this trigger activates again and you'll hear the monster's noise once more. During the boss fight with Abstract Daddy, if you climb into the wardrobe, the boss simply leaves. The wardrobe is a safe zone, which is why Angela was hiding from her father there. By the way, here you can find a torn photograph. It's ripped in such a way that one half shows Angela and her mother, while the other half shows her father and brother. This is no coincidence. According to Masahiro Ito, one of the game's developers, Abstract Daddy represents Angela's father, Thomas Orozco, and or her brother looming over her on the bed. The lower figure screams in agony and its mouth resembles a female genital organ. These aspects symbolize the sexual abuse Angela suffered from her father and brother, and her suffering. Ito noted that the head of the lower figure represents Angela in a nightmare mirage. Interestingly, in the room with the TV, the same room as Abstract Daddy, you can find a photo identical to the one in Angela's wardrobe. But in the Abstract Daddy's room, the photo isn't torn. The room where the monster fight happens likely represents Angela's womb. On the flesh-covered walls, there are piston-like holes moving back and forth, resembling sexual intercourse. Each piston may symbolize how many times Angela was abused. In the original game, it was 23 times, but I'm not sure about the remake. By the way, when moving between rooms, you can sometimes hear a voice coming from the TV. It seems to be the voice of Angela's father.
Where would you go? Nothing. No one.
By the way, if you haven't seen the previous episodes, I recommend checking them out after you finish this one. We've already released 5 videos with various findings, and I'm sure you'll enjoy them. In the prison, you can find a strange shirt. Maybe I missed something, but it reminds me of the protagonist's shirt from Silent Hill 4. If I'm wrong and missed something, please correct me in the comments. On one of the suitcases, you'll have to assemble a combination of words to open it. It's fascinating how Silent Hill continues to influence James, dropping hints about his sins. For example, the word combination kill wife. Truly creepy. Let's go back to an earlier part of the game in Rosewater Park. If you try to leave Rosewater Park before meeting Maria, the gates won't open. When Maria is with you, they do.
Strange. I could have sworn.
What? Is something wrong?
No. It's nothing.
James notices this and finds it odd. It's a sign to us that Maria is clearly hiding something from James. But that's not all. There are plenty of strange things to notice about Maria. Toward the end of the game, when James realizes that this world is a manifestation of his inability to accept his guilt for killing Mary, the monsters become much weaker. This happens because James finally understands how this world works. The more he tries to escape his guilt, the stronger the monsters become. At one point, you can see how weak the creatures in the town have become. They literally crawl away from you, exhausted, symbolizing James's acceptance of his guilt. Also, in the game, you find a flashlight on a mannequin dressed in Mary's clothes, but interestingly, the mannequin has no head and it lies behind the mannequin. Even more intriguingly, the mannequin's mouth appears to be covered by a shadow, once again hinting at how James killed his wife by suffocating her and cutting off her air. Additionally, in the game, you'll enter the Historical Society building. Here, James is horrified by a painting of Pyramid Head.
It's him.
But you can also find a painting of the hospital director. Interestingly, there's no name on it, but if you click to read the description, the text says that the name is scratched out and unreadable. However, there are no actual scratches on the painting. A little further in the next room, there's a photo of holes in the floor, which you'll have to jump into for the next few hours after this moment. In Apartment 201, there's a bedroom that looks the same as in the Leave ending, where Mary talks to James. I showed this to you yesterday, but what's even more interesting is that in this same bedroom, there's an image of the special place James is heading to meet Mary. But when he gets there, Silent Hill plays tricks on him once again. You can see Maria standing in front of James, trying to block the light coming from the fog. She does this just as James is trying to recall memories related to Mary. And that's not all. In the beginning of the game, when you arrive, you are standing right in front of the lake, but you can't see it. The fog blocks everything in front of you. Interestingly, in the original game, this wasn't the case, and you could clearly see the lake in front of you.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday.
But here, the developers, in my opinion, did even better, hinting that Silent Hill is trying to hide something important to James by any means possible, from the fog to distractions by Maria, who prevents James from focusing.
I can't quite.
Hey! I think I might know. I mean, there's this one place. Not far from here.
In one of the earlier episodes, I showed you a terrifying scream from a monster in the prison. The monster itself isn't there, but there are ritual pentagrams and drawings on the wall. What's interesting is that in the original, you could beat this invisible monster. Not just beat it, but even die from it. Unfortunately, in the remake, you can only trigger the scary sound jump scare, but thanks to Bloober Team for that too. In Heaven's Night, you can find Sybil Bennett's glasses from the original Silent Hill, and if you decide to wander the park at night, you can find a strange detail. On a bench lies a white jacket, which seems like it's there for a reason. It's clearly a reference to something. When I first saw it, I thought it might be related to Heather's clothing, as her vest closely resembles this item, but unfortunately it's a jacket, not a vest. And honestly, I can't recall who this piece of clothing belongs to in the Silent Hill games. If you know, please leave a comment. And yeah, I think that's it for today. I'd love to hear about any findings you have in the comments, as I believe this is a community effort, and it would be great to discover and discuss more cool details left by the developers. This is Puzzle, and I see you in the next video.